What's up, y'all? Back at it again with this week's edition of Build Breakdown. Right behind me I have our client Fred's 1974 Chevy C10 Step Side. This truck came into us all OG. Besides the dropping some wheels, the team went ahead and flipped it. It's got a 6.2 LT1 in it, made it with a 6L90 transmission. So before we get into the build breakdown, I'll give you a little kind of update on the progress. Probably about 2 months ago, the truck was supposed to be ready. Normal fine tuning, road issues, stuff like that we were dialing in, trying to make it for the client's birthday as a debut. We missed it. We had issues with the transmission. Nothing fatal, but just issues with shifting. We're still able to tow the truck out, sadly, to a show to debut it for him. He already saw, progress of it, but I wasn't able to drive it. Now the crew's been banging it out for the past month, fine tuning it. Thank God it's all dialed in. Transmission shifts lovely, everything works flawlessly. And something else I forgot to bring to light is this vehicle, being 1974, was owned by our client who actually brought us the job. He's owned this since 1974 and every day since. Originally was a daily driver for him, then became one of his pleasure vehicles, and then turned into now supposed to be one of his nice little weekend toys. Being able to have the crew turn this into something that was a dream for him, this is gonna hit really well once we deliver it. And shit, I forgot to even say, we're delivering it tomorrow, which I don't even know when that's gonna show for y'all, but it's gonna be a surprise delivery tomorrow for him. Even though we did miss a few dates, we still gonna hit it. All right, all the paintwork on this is all done by him. This was done probably about 15 years ago. The truck was repainted, but what it came to us for was these nice US mag wheels. We got 20 by 9s in the front, 20 by 10.5s in the rear, and as you can see behind the US mags, we got 4-piston Willwoods up front with drilled and slotted rotors. Same thing matching in the rear. 4-piston caliper, and that's a 13-inch rotor. For those asking, front tire is a 255 45/20, rear is a 285 40/20. I had the homie come out to take some pretty precise measurements because originally the client didn't want to change the wheels. He was old school, had a set of Krager's that fit phenomenally. Nice 15-inch wheel with the nice balloon tire. So once we did the brakes, the wheels didn't fit. So trying to convince him that he needed to go to a bigger tire was not really something he wanted to do, but he kind of went with this wheel because it was similar to the Krager, but the main goal was to get this wheel as aggressive of an offset to his original wheels. And obviously, as you can see, this is pretty much as aggressive as you can get on a static truck without it rubbing. We have less than 1/8 of clearance in the rear bedside, and it's got a small little pull in it, but that was on the original wheels. And then same thing, probably about 1/4 inch on the front just to give us enough clearance as far as turning. So on the exterior wise, that's pretty much all we did. We dropped the truck back in 2011 with a Beltec 3.5 drop, so it sits perfect how he wants. Now let's move to the good stuff. All right. As you can see, this is when like the little, that nice little heavenly music plays as you pop this open. Anyway, 2017 6.2 LT1 matched to the 6L90 transmission, which is out of a 2015 CTS-V. Everything is wire tucked, nice and clean, color matched intake manifold, color matched intake cover, color matched valve covers, the custom intake with the intake cover, and then the mirror image battery cover, just because that's how we like to do it. This is kind of a familiar setup that we did on the Monte Carlo. Not the exact same construction, but I definitely like to have mirror imaged items once you pop the hood, especially on engine bays like this. You got a gang of room. Going to the brake setup, going with the new brake booster, Willwood master cylinder. All we did is custom hard lines all the way through from the master cylinder to the proportioning valve, basically through the full engine bay on each caliper. We're running a Champion radiator. We made a custom shroud, dual spall fans, electric fans. This is a PSI harness for those asking. We are running a BRP serpentine system as well as motor mounts and transmission mounts. Other than that, everything on the engine bay was meant to be very seamless. As you can see, this is running AC because everyone keeps asking, just because of a video of my car, which is the only one that didn't have AC. Yes, it's running AC. You can see we did the firewall as well, a nice custom clean firewall, and then there's the bulkhead for the AC. All the lines are running through the passenger fender, down under the radiator support, and they go into the compressor. End goal is, when you're looking at it, try to keep as much symmetry as possible, but obviously functional and clean. And I feel like we hit that right on the head with this one. Almost forgot. So basically, off of this thermostat housing off the trucks are a plastic housing. So I can't remember the company that made it, but they made a billet adjustable neck for this thermostat housing. And we were able to run a nice little 90 off this. And we ran full aluminum lines for the lower radiator hose. And then obviously same thing for the upper, just to accommodate the intake and obviously keep it clean as well. About the inside. Everything on here is pretty much stock. The only items that we did was obviously the vintage air unit. We ended up painting the original bezel just because it had stress cracks. And then we went with the IntelliTrex analog gauges on this. As you can see, we got full function, all the readings we need to, and it's actually pretty clean because it's close to what the original one was, not anything digital. Simple build, nothing over the top and flashy, but you definitely get respect in this one. Now we're gonna act like we're lifting the car up on the lift, and we're gonna start talking about underneath the belly. On the front suspension, because the lower control arms on these are significantly low when they're dropped, we went ahead and plated them, reinforced them just to give them some more clearance. Now moving back, underneath the motor, that is a BRP oil pan as well. And then this also has a Holley fuel tank. Now, as you can see, the custom dual exhaust. We went from the hooker log style headers, and then we did 3-inch from the manifolds all the way back into a crossover pipe, and then 3-inch tailpipes we're running the Flowmaster mufflers with, it's just kind of like a generic resonator, 3-inch inlet, 12-inch body resonator. The nice little, I mean, as you can see, the tips were based off of how he wanted it. One of them come out the bedsides, but a nice little turn down. So it kind of finalizes the back end of this car and it finalizes the build. Let me let you hear this real quick. I almost forgot because I was over here talking about the motor. So we did actually paint everything under the hood from the radiator support back. Fender liners, complete firewall, once we did the motor as well. So that is something that, you know, we try to accent on every build. If we are dropping a motor in it, we want to make sure that the engine bay matches the details of the motor. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to follow up with us for the next builds we have going on, which is right now it's this 58. If you've been following, this has been with us for a lengthy time, but we're hitting that home stretch. And also, right behind you, the 63 Lincoln with the Coyote swap. And then right up there, another lovely Impala SS. I'm out.